Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down, Wilson dancing to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now Wilson on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They go play action here on first down. And his first look is incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Excellent job on the key. Keeper 20 yards and a first down. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
He'll get it up the middle. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Jordan Wilkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Really good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
14.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
Penny, a first down carry. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They keep it with Penny on first down. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Going to give this time to the tailback. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Penny will try to punch it in, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On the carry, it's Wilkins. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Gone!
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here come the Seahawks now set to take over on offense. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to let it. And got his man complete. And he'll take the. To the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
14, run it.
Wilson now throwing again. He's going to look deep down the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw again is Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And out now, here come the Bengals. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They run with Wilkins. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Detroit! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big gain of 38 there on third down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's Jackson to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Barkevious Mingo in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Jackson over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Now the Bengals on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the gun, Jackson being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. On first down, Wilson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
14.
On 1st and 10, Wilson flushed out right. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, it's Wilson again. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Wilkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep for Eifert. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here's Walton. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Detroit!
Here's Jackson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's fourth down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. So make it 2 missed field goals for him now, but I have the sense, given that distance, you could probably forgive him here on this one.
Yeah, this is out of the range of just about anybody on planet Earth except probably you, partner. But you just got to drive it out low and hope that somehow you hit it absolutely perfect. But no real chance for this one to go through.
Here's a give to Penny. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Flush to his right. He lets it fly for Lockett. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. It gets intercepted.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. On 3rd down, Jackson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Seattle now ready to march. Sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll run it here with Wilkins. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
Now Jackson on 2nd down, staying on his feet. Buying time to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 40. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
To throw is Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. 41 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Steps away to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Jackson. It's caught by Moncrief. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
They begin with a run by Penny. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now Wilson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Being chased out left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Wilson dancing to his left. Looking for a slot man, and he's got him. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. A handoff to Penny, and he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Reload. 12.
They'll run them back, and he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. picked off at the 21. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And an alley to run. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Seahawks, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll lose an important one here, as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week, as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.